Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be providing you an update on my top 3 highest conviction cryptos. Bit of a spoiler, these 3 cryptos are the exact same as the top 3 that I've been talking about for the past few months and even last year, really. So the 3 cryptos are obviously SUI, Casper, and Tao. I'm going to be talking about them. I'm going to be telling you kind of where my preferences lie right now with these 3 and which ones I think can maybe perform the best. Fundamentally, these are the 3 best cryptos in the top 100. I don't think that's changed, but I will be providing you an update with the 3 cryptos, looking at their charts, looking at their fundamentals, and telling you basically where I see these things going in the next few months and into the end of potentially this bull run. So smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll get straight into today's video. Now, if you do want my buy and sell alerts, if you want to get access to cryptos which have massive potential and get alerted as to when I'm buying, check out the link in the description and join the VIP group while the prices are cheap. There is a current discount code available. Use code SAVE20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20%. So first of all, I just want to kind of apologize if it sounds like my voice is broken or anything like that. I do have a flu right now, so that is why my voice may sound a bit off. But we're going to be going through, these cryptos today because a lot of you guys have been asking me for an update. You've been asking me, are they still my top 3 or have I changed them? And to be quite frank with you, these are still my top 3 coins. Now, maybe in terms of price, they're not the top 3 coins. If we're looking at buys from a TA point of view, SUI definitely is. But then again, are we in crypto to be traders or to be investors? And when it comes to being an investor, you want to be looking at fundamentals mainly. Now, I'm not saying you should completely ignore the chart, but fundamentals should usually be the primary thing you're looking at. And I could find maybe 10 charts, 20 charts that look better than Casper and Tao right now. But that doesn't mean those coins are better buys for the rest of this bull run because things can change, right? They could be good charts right now, but in a month or two, something fundamentally could go wrong with the coin, thus bringing the price down. So there is a point where fundamentals can actually trump the chart, okay? And I would argue that is what's probably going to happen with Casper and Tao. They are so good fundamentally that at some point they're going to break out of this downtrend and they're going to have a really good bull run. As for SUI, I mean, this is literally the GOAT right now. It has the fundamentals and it has the chart. If you look at the chart, it's currently looking like it's breaking out of its golden pocket as we are speaking right now. The stochastic RSI is completely and utterly reset. It just looks like a really, really nice chart. And if you look at it here, you've got a few different moving averages that it could break out of. If it was to break above these, we'd be pretty much confirmed in another uptrend on SUI, and I would be calling all-time highs to be pretty much imminent if that happens, okay? And as for my bull run target for SUI, I think this thing has incredible potential. I would just go and do some form of a fib retracement. You could do it from here, and then we could go and look at some potential targets. So you've got maybe $10, you got $14. Anywhere in that region, I think SUI can be targeting this bull run. Anywhere above the kind of $10 to the $15 or $16 range. That is really the level I would be targeting on SUI. And it could go higher for sure, but it depends on how high Bitcoin goes itself. And I don't personally have Bitcoin going to 200K or anything like that. So because of that, I would then make sure my SUI price prediction is in line with my Bitcoin price prediction. Now, obviously, we'd expect altcoins like SUI to outperform Bitcoin, but it's the degree to which they do that we need to be concerned about. And if Bitcoin goes to 200K, I'm sure SUI will go above $20, right? But if Bitcoin only goes to 130, that is probably going to be below $20. That's what we need to always be thinking about, is the scale and scope of the bull run. Now, one thing I always look at with a coin, especially when you've seen large scale down markets or downtrends for a lot of coins, is how fast they can bounce back. And looking at SUI right now, to me, it looks like it's bouncing back very sharply, very quickly. And that is a great sign. That shows this is the type of coin you want to have in your portfolio because it responds well to the fibs and it bounces whenever you get a little bit of bullishness, especially with Bitcoin. A 2% move on Bitcoin is usually a lot more on SUI, and that can't be said for a lot of altcoins this bull run. Okay, it really can't. If you compare a lot of altcoins to their Bitcoin pairs, it doesn't look this good. Okay, SUI BTC is one of the best looking altcoin Bitcoin pairs in the top 100. A lot of the other ones look really, really bad. It's just a long term downtrend and it just doesn't look nice on the eye. But the SUI BTC one really does look good. Now, as for some of the fundamentals going on SUI right now, we had the news come out that World Liberty Financial was going to add SUI as some form of a strategic reserve. That is obviously bullish. And to me, the way I see SUI is the ultimate Solana killer in the market. It's the ultimate Ethereum killer as well. So if Solana is an Ethereum killer, SUI is a Solana killer, and that's kind of the whole narrative going on with SUI here. The longer that kind of Solana and Ethereum are around and there's focus on them, the more there is going to be focus and attention to potential killers of those coins. And for me, SUI is the ultimate one positioned to give those coins a run for their money in the next few years. Okay, as for Casper, Casper's chart isn't looking the greatest, I'm going to be completely honest, but there is a chance it's found its bottom on this dump because it did come down to around the 5 cent region. I was telling people once Casper broke down below kind of the main support here around 10 cents, that 5 cents was highly probable. Okay. And that's what happened. There's a reason why I kind of de-risked a little bit out of my Casper on this way down, reducing my allocation so that now if I want to, I can go and buy more, right? I'm not saying that's what I am going to do, but if I want to, I can go and purchase some more Casper at these levels, considering I kind of averaged out a little bit around 16, 12, whatever cent. Obviously, I kind of reduced my allocation on Casper a bit, but it is still one of my largest holdings. I hold over 10% of my portfolio in Casper as of right now. And I would be open to increasing that if the chart gave me the signs. And for me, that would be a move maybe a bit lower, but I don't necessarily think that's 100% on the cards. Now, you'd be saying, well, why would you wait for that if you don't think it's a guarantee? Well, what I would say is I'm already very stacked on Casper. My average is 4 cents. I started buying at 3. I'm happy with my position and I'm in no rush to necessarily increase my position right now. But what I would say is in terms of fundamentals with these coins, in terms of catalysts coming, Casper is probably the best out of the bunch. They've got the crescendo hard fork, which is going to be drastically increasing the scalability of Casper, enabling extremely high throughput. You're going to be aiming for 10 blocks per second, which is a massive increase from the current 1 BPS that it's currently sat at. And then that's going to be, encouraging centralized exchanges to list Casper further down the line after the hard fork, potentially a Binance listing on the cards. And then we'll also have things like smart contracts coming out. Okay, so EVM integrations are going to be coming to Casper. I am a huge fan of the catalysts down the line for Casper. And I don't think there's many projects that can compare in terms of catalysts. The only thing that's spreading some caution for me is the chart. And like I've said before with Casper, I have the belief that the fundamentals will override the chart at some point and will take us into a massive uptrend. Many of the XRP maxis argued that point, and it became true with XRP. XRP was in a massive downtrend, and then eventually and massive consolidation. And then eventually there was some bullish news, some bullish catalysts that came out and it pumped the price. And by the way, I'm by no means a big fan of XRP. I'm just stating what happened with other coins and saying that could be a potential similarity with Casper. Okay, and the third one, and I would say this is third right now in terms of my preference. Right now it's going to go in SUI, Casper, Tao. And right now, Tao is, again, it's in a similar position to Casper where the chart doesn't look amazing, but people buying right now will probably be rewarded in a few months, especially if AI comes back around. And I still think it's worth having an AI coin in your portfolio. this is really the only AI coin I have in my portfolio. And I'm very happy with that because it is the king of crypto AI. It's the most decentralized. It's the one that just has the most long term potential. A lot of these other AI coins I'm seeing, they're way too hype driven. They're probably going to be gone in a few years, maybe even a few months when the bear market kicks in at the end of the year. So I want something that has some form of longevity, some form of potential long term. And even though I won't be holding it long term, it just makes for a more stable coin if there is a longevity factor. And I would say Tao has that. Okay. It's extremely decentralized and it's basically a massive open source marketplace for AI. So it just makes sense. It's everything OpenAI should have been, but obviously it wasn't to be because obviously OpenAI was extremely centralized or is extremely centralized still. Tao is offering an alternative to that. And the more that we see corrupted AI or just AI that's heavily centralized, the more there's going to be a demand for a protocol, a platform that is open source, that is decentralized. And that's exactly what Tao is doing with that token being the rewarding mechanism within the whole system. So I'm a huge fan. It's on Coinbase and Binance. You know, the all time chart, it doesn't look amazing right now. But one thing I would say is it's held fairly strong compared to a lot of other AI coins, particularly AI agents, which have dumped tremendously. So it looks pretty good in terms of the structure, just like in terms of the fact that it hasn't been extremely volatile. There is this kind of, you know, double top pattern that formed on the Tau chart, which obviously showed some warning signs, and we've come right back down to the kind of uh, midline, whatever you want to say, that the bottom point of the last dump. Maybe this will act as some form of support, and then we can gather some momentum for another uptrend. So yeah, Tau and Casper, it's hard to give price predictions on them, but I would expect anywhere between kind of a 5 to a 12 or maybe even 15x on these two. They could disappoint and just go and do a 5x, or they could do really, really well and go and do up to a 10 to a 15x. It all depends on the scope of the market and how big of an alt season we have. So smash the likes on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out the VIP group. I'm in here 24/7. Like I said, I'm very sick right now, but I'm still in the VIP Discord. I'm still posting updates, talking to the members. I'm also DMing my mentor tier members and my course members. They have access to my DMs. They can message me at any point, get me to review their portfolio, get me to review specific altcoins, strategy, whatever it is. They can DM me. So check out the options. Use code SAVE20 at checkout. Hit the link in the description, join the group. You are much better off in a network, in a community, as opposed to being a lone wolf in crypto. And I'm sure the last few months have probably proved that to a lot of people. We have been discussing the markets at length every single day in this group, during the dumps and during the pumps. Either way, we're discussing it. We're discussing strategy. We're de-risking when we need to, and we're buying when we need to. So come join the group if you're interested. The link's in the description. Hit the likes, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.